Is this a mini PlayStation 5 that does AI compute that earns me crypto? Okay, no, absolutely it's not. But that would be totally badass if it was. What is going on, miners, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm taking my first step into home AI compute with the new Aethir Edge miner. Let's take a closer look at the hardware, and then let's answer the question, what in the world is Aethir? Let's take a closer look at the Aethir Edge miner. Huge shout out to the team over at Helium Deploy for sending this over to us for review. I'll leave links and a discount code directly down below. So let's dive in. So first, opening this box, is it a PlayStation 5? look at this thing. It's got like this cool racing design it reminds me of on the side of it. First look, it reminds me very much of like opening an Apple product. Like, look at this, it's got this like soft backing here to protect it with shipping, and it's got this whole nice presentation. I love it. Is part of the price of this thing just for the box. So let's go ahead, pull it out of here, and we will come back to the box because there's some other things in there I saw. And yeah, let's take a quick look. So on top here, this might be some type of LED light or just a shiny piece of plastic. These I thought were originally vents, but they don't look functional on top at all. On the front here, shiny setup. I know there's a display right here actually that will come on. Look at these dirty finger marks I got on this thing already. Power button right here on the front side of it. On this side we have, it's just the white with these cool, I'm calling them racing stripes because it absolutely reminds me of something that you would see like on a Porsche or something like that. On the back side here, we do have a reset button, USB, looks like 3.0, Ethernet, and also power. I'm curious, I believe it has wireless, but we'll have to take a closer look. And on this side here, just your basic white design. On the bottom of the unit though, it does have feet, and then it does actually have, my guess is this is some type of exhaust that comes out the bottom. I can't tell if this is functional or not either, or this side here. I may be mistaken. I mean, at the top of this would make sense to be some type of intake, and then the bottom, you know, the exhaust there. But that's the unit. As I said before, I laugh because it looks exactly like a PlayStation 5. Nothing wrong with that, just smaller. Taking a look at the box here, because I know there's some other equipment in here. Let's go ahead and pull this out. Love the packaging, by the way. You know, 5 out of 5 on the packaging, which is cool. So we do have a user manual with a QR code to scan. So we'll definitely have to do that to get started because I know that there's a full app that will help us set up this unit, which will be awesome. And then look at this. I told you, it reminds me of Apple. We have a network cable box, we have a power adapter and an adapter cable. So I assume the network cable is just your everyday network cable. I doubt it's anything special, but we're here. We'll at least open it up. So it's definitely a thicker gauge Ethernet cable. And then actually, look at the ends. They actually have metal RJ45 ends on this. That's actually pretty cool. That's like a really sick Ethernet cable, believe it or not. You know you're a miner when you get excited over these little things. Power adapter, my guess is this is similar like a laptop brick. Yep, so we have our power adapter here, plug that goes in the back of the miner, and then we have our C13 connection, and this is probably the other half of that, is my guess. And yep, that's exactly how that works. Plugs right in there, and we're good to go. All right, let me get this plugged in. So we're gonna flip our miner here upside down, and we're gonna take our Ethernet cable. I had one available, so I just plugged that in. Keep this one in the fancy packaging, which is nice. And then we actually had a C13 from, this is my GPU mining test bench. So I thought, hey, we'll go ahead and just plug it right into that, which will be nice. So we'll plug it in here and let's flip it over, see if it powers on. And we have a red light. That's so shiny, you can see me right in the camera there. So let's go ahead and we're gonna hold this down. The instructions I read, yes, I read the instructions. Oh, there we go. Say 5 to 6 seconds, and we will get a display that comes on. The user manual, you can go ahead and actually scan. It's got great step-by-step instructions for setting up the Aethir Edge miner. All right, it's been just a few minutes, and the first screen that comes up is this QR code, and it says, please scan the QR code with the app. In the instructions, it has you download the Aethir Edge app, set up an account, and get ready to go ahead and pair your miner. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now off camera, and let's learn a little bit more about Aethir and the Aethir Edge miner. So it's been a few days and I'm earning 100 Aethir a day right now. But what's that worth? What's the daily profitability? Well, stay tuned. We're gonna talk about more of that later on in this video. What is Aethir? Aethir is a technology crypto in the AI compute on demand industry. And there's two sides to this coin. The first side, they offer up compute as a service. And on the flip side, they offer a place for enterprise level compute via high-end GPUs. Now, where does the Aethir Edge miner come in? Well, there's a little important piece of the puzzle when it comes down to AI compute. And what is that? That's edge compute. So let's learn a little bit more about the Aethir Edge home miner. So huge shout out once again to the team over at Helium Deploy for sending this over to me. By the time you guys watch this video, it will be available on their website for sale. If you're interested, please make sure you guys go out and do your own research for $1,299. Now, if we take a look at some of the marketing mumbo jumbo out there from Aethir Edge, talking about all the different things that can be done, this is very much, I would say, a hypothetical situation because there's a lot more to this. They talk about AI machine learning and gaming and smart cities and all this other amazing buzzword items. But I actually reached out to a few individuals in the industry within AI and compute to learn a little bit more about edge compute. And I'm going to try to translate this the best I can, but please make sure you guys do your own research. When it comes down to the Aethir Edge device, it is focused primarily on just edge compute. And what exactly is that? How is that different from AI compute with like GPUs? Well, it's actually significantly different. There's two sides to a lot of going on when you're actually doing anything with AI. The horsepower side, the machine learning, the heavy duty side, which we traditionally align with GPU mining and GPU compute. And then on the right side is edge compute, which is also almost like the decision making. Once all of the work's been done on the GPU side, there needs to be hardware and compute available to actually do the decision making. And that's exactly where the edge compute comes in. I naturally went to the fact of like, this device must have a GPU in it. And that's actually not the case. We're going to get more and more into learning what hardware is actually inside of this that makes up that edge compute. So hopefully I translated that properly. But if you know more, leave comments down below. So taking a look here at this device, it's a small home device for edge compute. And this launched several months ago. This isn't like brand new. And you can actually see there's 38,147 of these Aethir Edge miners out there. That's absolutely insane because of the fact that with 38,000 of these worldwide, that is a massive network that connects together and is able to move mountains when it comes down to when it needs compute. I mean, that's absolutely nuts to think of how many of these devices are out there that are working together to accomplish the same goal. Now, running one of these devices brings in 100 Aethir a day. You're rewarded for running this and being part of their network. So that's where, as I talked about previously, we were making 100 Aethir a day. And we'll talk about what that is worth in a few minutes. Now, let's talk hardware because we are miners at heart, and this really needs a dark mode, but we're miners at heart, and we very much, like, we see this device and we're like, well, what in the world is in there? Because it's not a GPU, and you're absolutely right. It's lighter in weight, and that was the first thing I thought about, but I had to do my research. So taking a look here, and I'll link all of this stuff down below because I highly recommend you guys do your own research. What I have learned, this has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 in it. That's actually a mobile CPU, but they're actually rather powerful. Talking with other individuals in the compute and AI industry, one of these by itself is nothing impressive, but 38,000 of these running is a massive network available for compute to support the entire project. In addition to that, some things to think about. It's got wireless. It's got 12 gigabytes of memory in there. It has an encryption chip, and the power consumption is only 48 watts. Remember, we're talking about a mobile CPU. We're not talking about a full GPU inside of these things. Something to take a look at here as well, which is a upsell for me. It has a 3-year warranty. So like this thing breaking in a few months or having challenges or problems, the nice thing is it does come with a 3-year warranty, which I think is fantastic. They've actually gone the extra mile too when it talks about power consumption. And they have a massive documentation section. And I definitely recommend you guys go over and check it out because I think it's going to answer a lot of questions for you. They actually break down what the daily actual cost is on average based off of where you're located. So in like the US, this thing's going to cost you 8 cents per day to run. Remember, it's that mobile CPU. If you jump and look at Canada, 6 cents. United Kingdom, 19 cents. So definitely more expensive. Germany, 29 cents. So that definitely gives you an idea as to the horsepower inside of this thing. As I said, it's not much, but when it's made up of 38,000 devices, it's absolutely impressive. Let's talk profitability. Let's talk numbers because we're home crypto miners and we look at the profitability as a first step into our interest traditionally on projects. So you're rewarded to be part of the Edge compute network for Aethir at 100 ATH, that's the crypto token, per day for running your miner. Now, you only earn 100 per day is if your miner has a 20-hour plus uptime per day, which is super, super important. Now, moving on, they did make an announcement, and this was all put into place on October 9th about the 100 Aethir. It was 150 at one point. They restructured a bunch of things. It's now at 100. So when you're watching this video, make sure that you guys do your own research before making any purchases. But what is that worth? Today, have to check, it's November 20th, and Bitcoin, believe it or not, just hit $95,000. Absolutely insane, guys. But I want to give you guys some perspective there. So if we go over to CoinGecko and we take a look here at Aethir, right now it's going for 5,887. So 5, almost 6 cents. When we look at this over a time period here, we look at an all-time high for it. It was upwards of 11, almost 12 cents total. So just giving you an idea, it's been around for several months now. Beginning of June of this year. So it's a newer project, but it didn't launch yesterday or the day before. It's got a few months under the belt. So coming down here, putting in 100 Aethir, that's bringing in today $5.88 a day, which that's actually pretty dang good based off of the watts, which is pretty much nothing. Let's be honest here, 48 watts is less than a light bulb. So when we do some math here, if we bring up our calculator and take a look and do some math here, if everything stays the same, meaning the reward per day at 100, which it could change, so keep that in mind. Once again, do your research. And the value of this token stays exactly where it is right now, which we know that's not the case. It can go up and down, hopefully up. Hopefully it being a new project coming in during this bull run early, it will go up significantly. I would expect it to. We can go ahead and do $5.88 a day, and we'll times that by 30 days. So it's making $176 a month. Okay, but our initial investment was what? $1,299 over on Helium Deploy. So let's now times that by 12 months. We're now bringing in $2,116 a year. So we're absolutely hitting the mark on our ROI under 365 days. And it's giving us an opportunity to stack 100 Aethir a day. I mean, seriously, this project could just move a few decimal places and we'd be sitting very pretty. Now, we are miners. We absolutely are interested in the avenue of mining the token and the project, but we're not loyalists. We want the avenue to go ahead and liquidate. And so there are a number of different exchanges out there. Some of the bigger ones are Bybit and BitGet that you see here, as well as Gate.io and KuCoin that Aethir is on. All right, so a few, I guess we'll call them red flags. That sounds a little aggressive, but I want to be totally transparent with you guys. When setting up this unit, there were a few things that stood out to me that I want you to know about ahead of time, especially before you purchase. So let's take a look. So when you're going through their setup guide, and I'll link this directly down below, I walked through this just a few days ago. One of the things that they require is KYC when you're setting up this app, which traditionally for us miners definitely is a turnoff for us. This is becoming more and more of a well-known thing, especially within the AI compute industry, of knowing where that compute is coming from. So this may be a turnoff for you. I absolutely want to warn you before you purchase the device, load up their guide, and then get very frustrated to see that. So just want to make sure I mention that. Second thing, this is another big one. When you scroll down, this actually requires 2 different types of crypto to get your foot in the door with this device to be staked. Now, the first one is, and kudos to Helium Deploy for being transparent about this and putting this right here. There is a 2,153 Aether, about $130, give or take, fee payable in crypto to activate the hardware. So fee is kind of a strong word because you're actually staking it with the project. One, I guess I shouldn't say it burns, but it helps to lock up some of the crypto. It's almost like adds a little bit of a commitment function to it. So one, I can see that as a turnoff because people are already investing $1,299 in this device. Then you have to go ahead and purchase Aether, which was a pain to get to and to do everything I needed to go ahead and activate the device. And the second cryptocurrency that you need, only about $15 worth, they do put this in their documentation, is you need Ethereum, which will be used with some of the gas fees as well. Now, this is on the Arbitrum, I think that's how I'm pronouncing it right, network. So there is some cross-chain bridges that are built in with that, but I want to be completely transparent with you guys because honestly, I didn't know about any of this until I got the device, started to do my research and went, oh, dang, that kind of sucks. I mean, I understand it, but it also is a little bit of a turnoff. And the last thing I want to make sure that you guys know about, because I want to be completely straight with you guys, is their payouts. So it is 100 Aether a day, but they actually have a vesting period of when that's rewarded. So, and I want to read this through here to explain it. The ATH you earn on a daily basis is subject to a vesting schedule, which means that only a portion of your reward comes available immediately, while the rest of it is released gradually over time. And I understand this from a liquidation perspective, because that's what I believe this is in place for, to avoid just daily liquidation out of this token. 30% of the ATH your Edge device earns each day is claimable immediately, which was the case from my testing. 30% becomes available 90 days, and 40% more becomes available 180 days. So this is almost a rolling 180-day reward mechanism. I don't like this, to be honest with you. I understand what they're trying to do with the fact of requiring you to almost stake Aether at the front end, and then I shouldn't say stake, but have a vesting schedule at the tail end. So who is this miner for then? And do I recommend this for you as a home miner, which is traditionally most of my audience? Do I recommend you go out and buy 50 of these? No, I don't. Newer project, few months under its belt. The avenue to get the miner up and running, the miner is awesome. The app is simple to use. The purchase of Aether and the staking mechanism is a little bit of a turnoff there. I get it. It's $130. Okay, fine. You know, makes sense. Okay, great. I think the thing that really turns me off the most about this is the vesting period on the back end side of it. Like, I feel like 90 days is a lot. 180 days is absolutely insane when you're thinking about this in the crypto space. Like, crypto miners want choice. They don't want someone else making the choice for them. So that's a turnoff to me, but I'm also not running this to like flip in 30 days or flip in 90 days. Like, I want to run this, stack the token, and when it moves a few decimal places, be able to liquidate. Now, with the vesting schedule, I can't do that. I can only liquidate so much of it. So I'm going to leave that up to you guys to decide if this is something that you're interested in getting into. I like the project. I like the device. The payout structure is what really is a red flag to me. But I'm going to let you guys make a decision. If you guys are interested in this device and reading more, please check out the links directly down below. Huge shout out to Helium Deploy once again for sending this over to me. I do appreciate their commitment to the channel. What's up, guys? Sorry to interrupt your video, but want to keep you in the know. So are you new at mining, or you're just looking to step into it? You're not sure what hardware you want to buy. You're not sure what build you want to do. Need some help? Maybe you're building your first mining rig and you literally need help step by step installing Hive OS. Maybe you're so far away from mining, but you're looking at it and you just need somebody to bounce some ideas off of. Well, I offer one-on-one calls with the community, and I've done boatloads, some really cool ones. I've helped people set up ASIC miners in the Dominican Republic. I've helped someone troubleshoot their very first GPU mining rig. I've chatted with a guy looking to open up a farm and just wanted a sounding board. I've helped someone else build and set up and configure their brand new Caspa miners. Well, I'm here to help, and I'd love to work with you. If you guys need one-on-one help, I offer it, and I love doing it. So there's a link directly down below to thehobbyistminer.io. Go over there and schedule some time with me. All right, back to the video.